Talking about the Bucks and the Celtics. Bucks, I believe, are laying. Do I have that wrong? Bucks are laying 1, right? I think our graphic might be switched backwards. Total is 212.5. Guys, Alex, I'll start with you here. Who do you have in this one?
This is a very tough game for me to figure out. I like the Bucks. I've continued to like the Bucks in the series. I think without Marcus Smart, the Celtics team is just really missing a piece that they need, and they continue to struggle to find answers for Giannis. I mean, Giannis has really been spectacular. Drew Holiday continues to play a great series. Actually, I'm just double checking. It looks like Smart's going to be back, but either way, he's less than 100%. Just hasn't really been a difference maker on the floor. Jayson Tatum needs to play a great game for the Boston Celtics to get control of this series and not really lose their footing here. Jayson Tatum needs to come out and play the kind of game that Chris is expecting of Devin Booker. But if that happens tonight, it's a great spot for Boston. A lot of smart guys I know like Boston a lot tonight. Some of the sharpest people I talk to are all over the Celtics tonight, but I like the Bucks. I've liked the Bucks all year, so maybe just a little bit of bias from that. What I do know is this total is way too high. You start to look at this series. The first game, there was 190 points. The second game, only 195, and we're climbing. We got all the way to 204 last time. I can't get this total above 210 on my own. I tweaked a bunch of stuff, got the pace all the way down, and I keep coming out, to somewhere around 209, just shy of 210. So 212, 212 and a half. Happy to take the under tonight in what has been a really fun, tight series. And I think we'll see what we've seen all series. These fourth quarters have been a grind, and I think we'll have that again under for me.
Chris, you're never going to hear the end of this Devin Booker in the fourth quarter now that we got this all going. So just get ready. But this is something you guys do agree on. Chris, you also like the under.
Yeah, complete agreement with Alex here. I mean, this is a really tough game to pick a side. I've heard the same thing about the Celtics. But this is a pick 'em for a reason. Obviously, a very crucial game. We talk about talk radio. Stephen A. Smith is like, this is a must-win for the Celtics. I mean, yeah, Stephen A. Thanks for that. This is a pretty big game for Boston. Tatum obviously didn't show up, as Alex alluded to, in Game 3, and the Celtics just aren't going to win that series. They're not going to win any series if that happens. But I think we're going to see a better version of Jayson Tatum tonight. The big stat here that I pulled, I mean, Milwaukee's outscoring the Celtics 140-76 in the paint, just annihilating them in the paint. Obviously, a lot of that is Giannis, but Celtics are kind of choosing to allow that to happen. So if they don't shoot well from beyond the arc, from the perimeter in general, from the mid-range, these games are over. I mean, they're just not going to be able to compete. Now, they still almost won Game 3, too, so that's pretty impressive. I'm hearing some things about Boston, too, kind of complaining about Giannis and the fouls. Look, I mean, in all these games, the refereeing has been pretty terrible. So that's objectively true. There's definitely absurd calls in favor of Dallas yesterday, so I can say that. But there's absurd calls in favor of the Phoenix Suns in Game 1. So, whatever. I mean, I guess it all evens out. But back to this game, this isn't skinny, Kevin Durant. I mean, if the Boston Celtics are as like tough and blue collar as they say they are, then they have to step up and they have to stop maybe pound for pound the strongest guy in the NBA in Giannis, because right now it's just not happening, right? But the Bucks defense, the most impressive thing for me, because they're really not playing that well on offense, but only allowing 97 points per 100 possessions in the NBA playoffs. That's far and beyond the best defense in the NBA right now. We said it on this show, too, that we're going to see a different version of the Bucks defense heading into the playoffs, and that's exactly what happened. We know how good the Celtics defense can be. This game should be just as contentious as ever. Hopefully there's not a melee of foul calls, that drives this score up, because I totally agree with Alex. I don't think I have this around 205, and that's being pretty, conservative about some of these numbers. I mean, I could drive that even lower. So I think, full game, especially in the second half, this one will slow down.
Well, I agree with you guys, but I'm going to play a little different angle. I'm going to take the Bucks team total under 106.5. Their team total's gone under in all 3 games, as well as the total for all of these games has gone under as well. I just don't think this Bucks offense, outside of Giannis's performance in Game 3, has looked quite like they did in the regular season. Not having Chris Middleton has proved to be pretty costly for them, and their other players really haven't stepped up all that great. I mean, Grayson Allen hasn't made a 3 in the last 2 games. Drew Holiday has been struggling offensively. As a team, they're shooting just under 28% from deep. So those things all need to turn around. I'm just not sure how it necessarily does against the Celtics defense, which was number 1 in defensive rating throughout the regular season. I believe they're number 3 in defensive rating throughout these playoffs. So I expect the Celtics defense to step up big time again tonight, with the stakes getting even higher, and this being a very pivotal must-win game 4 for the Celtics. Otherwise, this series might be over, as Stephen A. Smith notified us this morning. So I'm with you guys. I'm going to play the Bucks team total under. You both playing the game under 212.5.